My name is Howard Miller. I'm a member of the best class, the first class, the class of 1993.
Hi, I'm Sharon Roberson Pender, member of the best class ever of 1998.
For Sharon Baker, class of 1999.
My name is Pat Florestano. I'm a graduate of the class of 2001.
I'm Freeman Rabowski from the best class ever, the first class, 93.
I did have the best class. 99 was the best class.
In my opinion, I guess every class thinks they're unique.
Do you remember the best class?
I do remember the best class.
I mean, were they incredible?
They were the most incredible class. They were so creative.
Now, of course, every class says they're the best class, but we know the best class.
We know the best class.
So I guess we can't say it.
We can't.
No, because, you know, they might, well, yeah. If you're not in it.
We don't want to hurt any feelings.
No, but that, they know who they were.
And we know.
Absolutely.
That's funny. I think what's nice about the Leadership Maryland program is that we all take great pride in each other and we try to sing each other's praises. That's all that's about.
I was very much a skeptic about this process.
I thought it was the biggest waste of my time. I'd been to leadership classes. Why did I need this one?
I've never heard of Leadership Maryland, and why am I going to pay that kind of money to do it?
I knew I needed to go through Leadership Maryland when I found myself reading just the business section, the sports section.
It's an expensive program. It's very demanding, time-consuming, and it was, I think, harder in the early years to convince people that it was a worthwhile endeavor.
But I tell you, it was the best investment I've ever made in terms of the time and the return.
They taught me a great deal. I learned so much about a state I already thought I knew, and I made wonderful friends and contacts.
I thought I had all the answers, right? I mean, that's necessary for success. But very quickly through Leadership Maryland, I realized I don't even have the right questions.
These aren't a bunch of people who just sit back passively and accept everything you say. They'll challenge what you say. That's why the program works.
You're given the opportunity to understand state issues, understand the complexities of what we face, at the same time create relationships and get to know people that can affect you.
I found out that there really is a community of state-concerned people, and that, to me, was stunning.
Absolutely. And as you know, the first day we talk about a broad statewide issue. The second day we learn about the regional issues and challenges and how this class can work together and address those challenges.
Actually, in the beginning, you think, this is crazy. Why am I doing this? By the end, you understand what it's all about and how it brings you closer together.
We couldn't wait to go. I mean, we were like, oh, you know, we didn't technically have to be there till Thursday morning at 7. Most of us were there Wednesday at like 5. Don't tell anyone that.
It was revolutionary to me that in a matter of days, the Leadership Maryland team could build that kind of trust within 50 to 60 people, and then have them talking, have them openly beginning to look at problems we have in the state, you know, concerns we have here, wonderful opportunities to grow ourselves personally.
You learn a lot about yourself, and you understand that just because you're not like others and maybe you don't have the same perception of what a leader is, you know, you're just as valid, you're just as successful as the next person next to you who, you know, in your opinion might be so much better and so much, you know, more powerful than you could possibly ever be.
And I remember meeting some high-level state officials that were part of my class, and as a result of getting to know them, when I made the decision to become a state official myself, I was that much more ahead of the game because of the relationships I had built through Leadership Maryland.
Leadership Maryland is about understanding someone else's perspective, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, and just saying to yourself, how would I feel if I was in this situation? We got a chance when we were in that program to see what people went through in different parts of the state.
There's something magical about this program because it pulls together strangers, you know, 50 to 52 strangers or so from across the state. And so as a result of building the bond, there are some things that kind of happen that's kind of off script.
There was a sense of trying to get people out of their comfort zone. You got to a level where, they were your buddies. They want to see you acting silly. Okay, you would act silly, whereas you might not have on normal situations.
I think the most valuable part for the class is what they learn from each other. They hear their classmates' perspective on an issue and they just go, wow, I never thought about it that way.
20 years later, the thing they'll remember most are the people, and then they'll remember many of the experiences.
Exactly.
And the information, the data that's almost gone.
Especially the experience of leaving a pregnant class member on the top of a mountain and having to turn that bus around on a skinny mountain road.
I don't know about the pregnant woman on top of a mountain, but I will say to you, what happens on the bus and what happens in Leadership Maryland stays in Leadership Maryland.
Yeah, or that night that a few class members got a little rowdy in the lake out at Lake Habib.
Yeah, wearing their togas.
Oh, that's right, togas. Yeah.
And the manager of the hotel says, oh, so that's where my sheets go.
Every year's different. Every class is different. There have been some brilliant people who are in the class working with the panels. And the panels really get challenged sometimes.
And we're so blessed because we have so many talented graduates who know so much about so many things.
I don't think people also understand that we don't pay our speakers. They do it for love,
That's right.
for public and civic interest.
And maybe breakfast.
It's the breakfast.
It's the breakfast.
That's what does it. It's the breakfast. And the possibility of a bus ride.
That's right.
The bus is more or less symbolic. It was kind of like whether you wanted to or not, the gathering place first thing in the morning when you were going on the journey. But it's also symbolic of the 20-year journey of Leadership Maryland.
There have been some adventures along the way, but actually those become the touchstones of the future,
right.
and people remember them warmly, even if at the time they were a little bit troublesome.
Exactly.
Leadership Maryland has really perfected this program to the point where if you don't get anything out of it, it's on you. It's definitely not on the Leadership Maryland group, because they go out of their way to make sure that you get the experience of every piece of Maryland that they can give you within a 9-month period.
There are parts of Maryland, shockingly, that most of us don't get to see, don't understand, have preconceptions that need to be dispelled. Having an opportunity to do that on a genuinely focused, professional, informative platform is a positive thing.
We went Western Maryland, we visited the Correctional Institute, we visited the train. Eastern Shore, we went to the Purdue Chicken Factory. We went to Patuxent Naval Basin, a naval base down there in southern Maryland. We talked economic development down there. We went to shock trauma clinic. We spent an afternoon there. I mean, it's this wonderful array of interesting experiences.
Every experience in life should help you learn something about yourself. This is just kind of a PhD course to get there, because you're in a very unique environment.
This is a learning environment. You're going to come back a better leader than you went in. You're going to come back hopefully more open-minded, more structured, more focused, and at the same time more willing to take chances.
It's an educational program to make people better prepared to make a contribution in their own community.
But once you get asked to do it, get excited, because this will change your life.
It's all about adventures.
Well, congratulations and happy 20th.
Thank you so much.
We're going to have a party.
Yes, we are.
Leadership Maryland, congratulations on 20 great years.
Happy anniversary, Leadership Maryland. A wonderful 20 years.
Happy 20th, Leadership Maryland. More than that? Okay, happy 20th, Leadership Maryland. I'm looking forward to 20 more.
Happy anniversary, Leadership Maryland. Let me go again.
Here's an interesting thing about the class of '93. Let me educate you, because I was not a little boy at that time.
I'm Sandy McAllister, class of 1994. I still twitch, didn't I? It's like a mugshot. I can't do it.
I am Sandy McAllister, class of 1993.
Don't strike that. Don't put that out there. Congratulations, Leadership Maryland, on another 20. Let's start over.
I'm going to let somebody else talk to you about the song.
someone else to take over that piece of the job or that piece of our see, I'm first screwing that up. Sorry.
Congratulations, Leadership Maryland, on 20 years of excellence.
Is that good?
That's great.
Okay. All right. Oh, geez, yeah.
Congratulations to Leadership Maryland, and let's get ready for the next 20 years. We'll all have a ball at that gala. That's funny. It's funny. It's quite depressing, right? Okay.
We looked at all this data for several weeks, and we finally came up with looking at all these different factors and variables, who the best class is. And I'm happy to announce that the best class in the last 20 years is, excuse me, I have to take this phone call. Sean Looney.